I am an American citizen, but I'm also a world citizen. Tears often run through my face when I sit comfortably in my living room watching people suffering. And I recalled a few years back how hard it hit me when I saw a soldier carrying a little Syrian boy's lifeless body. Unlike most, instead of shedding useless tears, I would run to my PC and start making films about it. Of course, those films usually do not go viral, but if one person felt my message, my job would be done. If one person shared my video, his or her job was done. The world needs our voices. It is hard for me to understand the current Hong Kong protest. I was born in Taiwan. At that time, organizing strikes would carry heavy punishment. Taiwan was a Japanese colony and then was under martial law. Hong Kong, on the other hand, seems to have much more freedom, such as, freedom of speech. But then recently, I watched the 2 or 3 million people taking their anger to the street in Hong Kong. I was in shock. I wonder what have driven them to such extremes. But trying to figure out the real cause of this protest half a world away is not easy. After reading many news articles, I realized the many sides of the conflict. Basically, it started when a man from Hong Kong killed his pregnant girlfriends in Taiwan. He escaped to Hong Kong, and because there is no extradition law between Hong Kong and Taiwan, he cannot be charged with murder. Instead, was charged with stealing his girlfriend's credit card and was sentenced only to 14 months. Hong Kong has extradition agreement with most of the world except with China and Taiwan. No evidence collected by Taiwan authority can be used to charge the killer. Is that fair? But that's the law. Then Hong Kong's legislation body drafted a law to allow extradition between Taiwan, China, and Hong Kong. The bill has not been presented, but started a huge political storm. You see, when Hong Kong unified with China in 1997, there is a promise of one country, two systems by the Chinese authority, which ensured no changes to Hong Kong's political and legal system. Whether the law is a band-aid to fix the loophole many criminals used or a disguise to change Hong Kong's justice system, it ignited a firestorm, with media calling this way to destroy Hong Kong's democracy and freedom. Many people joined the protests, and a few people committed suicide. Hong Kong's government quickly announced withdrawing of the planned law change, but the protests got bloodier and more violent. Strikes went on, and then protests occupied the airport. Flights were canceled and travel warnings were issued by United States, Australia, Ireland, South Korea, United Kingdom, UAE, and Taiwan. And on August 11, 2019, Hong Kong's government canceled all flights. The airport is virtually shut down. You may wonder, if the unpopular law is no longer an issue, why do people still get angry? What do they want? I think they want the governor to resign and the government to apologize. And why didn't the government do so? Well, because the government said they did nothing wrong. The law has aimed to protect Hong Kong's people, while they already withdrew the law. They said the police acted on self-defense when protesters occupied the government buildings and attacked police. Like every other conflict, each side has a compelling story, but with non-stop violence escalating by day, what will happen next? Basically, it will get either better or worse. Getting better means ease of tension. This can happen either through disband of the protesting crowd or Hong Kong government's use of force to quiet things down. You may question my use of words, because how can I call government's use of force a way to get better? Well, because if the controlling force of the situation is not from Hong Kong's government, but from China, then that will be a disastrous term. Because we now have to talk about that possibility. Let's first talk about Hong Kong's history. Hong Kong was given to Britain in 1842 after the First Opium War. Then Cologne was given in 1860 when Britain asked again. Then in 1898, Britain asked for a 99-year lease on new territories, which now accounts for 86.2% of Hong Kong's land. Hong Kong prospered during the British colonization. Other than the brief 3-year occupation by Japan during World War II, Hong Kong enjoyed colonized democracy with restricted voting rights. But they enjoyed the freedom and prosperity most Chinese can only dream of during the Iron Curtain era. But many Hong Kong residents were disappointed in 1997. They thought UK will declare war with China to protect their way of life, because UK did declare war and won over Argentina on Falkland in 1982, and Falkland has only 3,000 residents, while Hong Kong has 6.5 million people in 1997. And Falkland was a crown colony like Hong Kong until 1981, just the year before the war started. Hong Kong residents felt left out when their neighbor, Macau's residents, were given Portugal nationalities, citizenship if they were born before 1981, but none of Hong Kong's 6.5 people got the British citizenship they wanted. Like it or not, Hong Kong's residents had to embrace a different flag in 1997, but they are allowed to keep their way of life for the next 50 years. In the meantime, China has grown from a poor developing country to a world superpower. So what will happen to Hong Kong if the current protests take an even more violent turn? What will happen if Hong Kong declare independence? I think it is pretty clear the violent protests affected not only everybody's life, the chaos also scared away tourists and investment. Hong Kong will be the world's second or third most densely populated country if it were a country. But food, electricity, and water are all supplied from China. The continued chaos will affect Hong Kong's economy, while Declaration of Independence will cast a shadow over everybody. But will the international society allow disruption of Hong Kong's way of life? I can't say what will happen, but I can tell you the whole world turned blind eyes in 1995 on Bosnia until over 8,000 people were killed and 25,000 civilians were expelled, while the year before in Rwanda, in just 3 months between April to July 1994, Hutu killed between 500,000 to 1 million Tutsi. The scale and brutality of the massacre caused a shockwave worldwide, but only after it is too late. However, Western nations such as United States, Belgium, France, and others ignored the genocide. Please note this statement is taken directly from Wikipedia. So, will United Kingdom help Hong Kong to fight China? Will United States help Hong Kong? I'm sure they will, but how much help? Enough help to get Hong Kong a seat in United Nations? Maybe, but enough to help fend off China's force? I doubt. 3 months ago, we visited Monaco, the world's second smallest country in area, with 39,000 residents. It has been an independent country since 1297. People learned and loved the small country when its reigning monarch, Prince Rainier, married beautiful Grace Kelly in 1956. It is now a united voting member, and it joined Council of Europe in 2004. But most people did not know. In 1962, France almost wiped Monaco from the map. We learned a bit when we visited Monaco, and then I got more information searching the web. President de Gaulle was upset that many rich French people used Monaco as a tax shelter. He did not like Monaco's casino making tons of money from French citizens, and he hated the fact that Monaco is close to American and have an American princess. So France blockaded Monaco from 1962 to 1963. There were plans of attack on this tiny country with only 23,000 people at that time. Although it is hard to imagine how France can threaten a neighboring sovereign country with force and get away with it, no one offered much help to poor Monaco, even though everyone loved the beautiful Grace Kelly. The excuse for not helping was Cuban Missile Crisis. It was the news of the day, and nobody even heard about what's happening. And America needed France badly as an ally at that time, so why would anybody care or support Monaco? From the history's lessons, I can tell you that the outlook for Hong Kong to go independent is very gloomy. Do you recall the boat refugees from Vietnam? How about the boat refugees from Syria? Not many countries offer helping hands, right? So, what do I want? I want world peace. I want everybody to have a happy and peaceful life. And I want my voice heard. But when you try to get your voice heard, please do it in a peaceful way, like the way I'm doing now. Not blocking the subway, not occupying the airport. Use your judgment. Think before you act. Calm down, Hong Kong.